Hi guys, here we go. So this is your new systems packet. So we're going to talk about this whole thing called systems in this packet, and this is page 1. The first part of this, you should have been able to upload it into Notability, and then you can watch this video. Hopefully you can do a screen sharing. You can split your screen into 2 screens, so you can watch the video on one screen and then have Notability open in the other screen, so you can go back and forth and copy what I'm doing on both screens. This first part is review. You guys should remember how to do this. We're evaluating expressions and we're solving equations. Okay, so these are 2 things that you should remember how to do. So I'm going to start with number 1. It says evaluate the following expression when x equals 7. So all we're doing is we're going to take 7 and plug it in for x, right? So all I'll have is 4 parentheses 3 minus 7. You can use your calculators, type that in, and you should get negative 16 for your final answer. Okay, so a lot of this is going to be calculator. Just use your calculators, type it in. A equals 3, A equals 3, and B equals negative 6. So when I plug each of those in, I'll have 3 parentheses 3 plus negative 6 minus 3. And really we should put parentheses around those just to make sure. And so then when you plug this into your calculator, I think you get negative 18 for your final answer. Again, if I'm going too fast, just pause it, do it on your own, and then check that you got that answer, okay? Number 3. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do evaluating when you have an expression. So in this case, it's saying y is equal to this whole expression, x plus 3. So I'm going to take that whole thing and plug it in for y here. So I'll have 4, and then instead of y, I put that whole parentheses, and I plug in that whole expression. And then I still have this plus 9, right? That still comes down. But instead of y, I got that whole thing. So now when I'm going to work this guy out, I have to distribute the 4. So I'll have 4x. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 9. And then the only thing I can do here is combine like terms. So 12 plus 9 would be 21. And this would be my final answer. So you're going to get an expression for some of these, not just a number. Okay? Same idea for this one. It says that m is equal to 9. So I'll plug in m is 9. But then n was equal to this whole expression, x minus 6. So instead of n, I'm going to write x minus 6, then I have a minus, and again x minus 6, and then there's still that plus 4 at the end. So now this 9 has to distribute, 9x minus 54. This is like a negative 1, so I distribute that. Again, take your time, use your calculator. I can do a lot of this in my head, but you would probably go a little slower and use your calculator, and that's fine. And now I'm going to combine like terms, and so I should get 8x, and then when I combine all of these, I think I get negative 44. So the answer is 8x minus 44. So again, we're just evaluating by plugging it in, plugging it in. Always plug in with parentheses. And don't forget to distribute. Okay, if you need to distribute. All right, next part. So now this next part is solving equations. And you guys are really good at solving equations. So let's just refresh our memories here. This is where you have an equal sign, so you always draw your line down the middle. Okay. If there's anything to distribute, you would always distribute first. So that becomes, right, I'm just multiplying. Now remember, if you have x's on both sides, you have to bring one of them. I'll usually bring the one on the right to the left. So 6 minus 20 is negative 14x. Bring down anything else. And now I can move the 30 to the other side by subtracting it. Hold on a sec. Let's see what I just did wrong. I think that's good. Do I have a mistake there? Oh, that's positive 18. Oh, no, that's right. So then when I divide, this one gave me a decimal. or we can just keep that as a fraction. And so I'll just rewrite that as -9/7 for my answer. Okay, let's try the next one. I'm going to distribute 49b plus 42, -4. So again, if I have variables on different sides, I have to move all the variables to the same side. And then I can move stuff over. And so I get an answer like that. Okay, again, I know I'm going fast, so slow it down, pause it, try it on your own, go through each step. Distribute, bring your variables to the same side, move stuff over, divide is your last step. Okay, last one here. I'm going to distribute. I have 4 equals 2p minus 6q. Now it said solve this equation for p, so I'm trying to get p by itself, which means I'll move the 6q to the other side. This one's kind of a weird one. You won't have any like this. This one's just a sort of an extra challenge. And then to get p by itself, I have to divide everything by 2. So I'll end up getting this as my final answer. Again, if you didn't understand this last one, this is sort of like an extra challenge problem that I wouldn't worry about. But you should be able to do everything else on this page. So now you're going to practice. So you're going to turn to page 2, and your homework is to do all of page 2, check your answers, and then submit it to me online.